I hope your year is off to a good start. In fact, the year has already started. But before I share anything with you, there's something that has been on my mind for a little while. I hope your year is off to a good start. In fact, the year has already started. But before I share anything with you, there's something that has been on my mind for a little while. I realized that too many people are enslaved to the calendar. Last year, this year, next year, 10, whatever. But I want you to understand this, that calendars are human-made. Seasons are God-made. Sometimes you can get a word for a particular year. It doesn't mean that its manifestation must be in that same year. Maybe corresponding to your growth or the timings of God, it may manifest in another year. So don't forget this, that where you sow your seed may not be where you reap your seed. So I want you to set yourself on course and understand that it doesn't matter when you start. The most important thing is that you start. You don't have to be great to start anything, but you have to start something in order to be great. And sometimes your greatest deliverance is your ability to start things, and not only to start, but to stick with it. As we begin our first episode, as it were, you see different surroundings. I just want to put a few keys in your hand that will lead you into a very good year. The first thing I want you to understand is this, that you must endeavor to grow daily. Grow daily. Because what brought you here may not be what takes you to the other place. Let's take it for granted you have a child, you're a parent, you have a child, and the child, it's an infant. Let's say it's an infant. You are all excited about the infant, but when it becomes a toddler, then becomes teenager, whatever, and they are still in their infancy state, it has to trouble you. In the same way, determine that you're going to grow every day of your life. Growth comes through learning. What are the books you are reading? Who are you listening to? Where do you go to get exposure that will challenge you? These are all instruments of growth in your life. Every day of your life, determine that you're going to be better than you were yesterday. The second thing I want to put in your hand is that you must always be disciplined. Discipline is not a gift that anybody gives you. In fact, timelines are gifts that people give to you. But discipline is a gift that you give to yourself. What is my definition of discipline? It's learning to say no to yourself. Before you can say no to somebody else or to anything, first learn to say no to yourself. Because if there's any giant that you are going to meet, ever going to meet, is the giant that you see in your mirror when you look at yourself. So learn to say no to yourself. Many times the body might say, I want this, but you have to tell the body, no, you can't want it now. The fact that you can eat it doesn't mean you have to eat it. The fact that you can drink it doesn't mean you have to drink it. The fact that you can say it doesn't mean you have to say it. You have to discipline yourself, because in order to get along in life, you realize that there are too many people that lack simple discipline, and it defeats you in life. So be strong. Sometimes you need an accountability partner. Sometimes you need somebody to speak into your life. But at the end of the day, you've got to come to that place where you stand on your own feet and you are able to say to yourself, no, I'm reading this book until I sleep. I'm doing this. Body, no, sit up and look at me. The third thing I want to say is that you must also learn to celebrate the efforts of other people. This is one of the most liberating attitudes in life, because whatever God may not have given to you, He may have placed in somebody else. And when you learn to celebrate what is in other people, God will also make other people celebrate you. You cannot afford the luxury of jealousy, because jealousy is one of the poisons that slowly eats away at your greatness. You cannot afford to be in unhealthy competition, because unhealthy competition is the death of your own happiness. There's always going to be somebody who is better at something than you. You may practice all day, they may never practice and still give more success, get more results than you. And so learn to celebrate others. Learn to see the good in others. When you do that, you know something, you free yourself to become everything that God has ordained for you to be. Let me give you another thing. Wherever you go, any place you go, amongst people, read the room. Read the room. What do you mean by read the room? See, there are people that walk into some rooms and other places and instantly they make themselves obnoxious. The room that you walked in, is it a room full of thinkers, reflectors, processors, jesters? You've got to read the room. When you first read the room, then you may know what to say and what not to say, whether to sit or to stand, whether to stay around or get out. It's very important that you understand that environments matter. So everywhere, for example, where I go, my first few seconds, I read the room. And there are times that when I read the room, I know that this room is not worth my wisdom. It's not worth my presence. It's not worth me saying anything. Let people say what they want, but you know exactly where you are going. The other thing I want to tell you is that in this life, this year, learn to communicate well. Communication is the lifeblood of every relationship. Just like blood is to the body, so is communication to every relationship. When the body loses all blood, you know what happens? Abnormality sets in, deterioration sets in, then eventually it dies. When communication is lost, then all kinds of things begin to set in, and then relationships die. Learn how to speak to people. I realize that with the onset of social media and all of these things, people are increasingly becoming caustic. You don't have to speak because you are thinking about it. The fact that your eyes can see something doesn't mean your mouth must also participate in that experience. There's a time to speak and there's a time to keep quiet. And sometimes saying sorry may not be enough to erase something that you should never have said. I like the saying that this Ofosu-Appiah has always been saying, you can never unsay what you said. So the best thing to do many times is to learn not to say some things. And if you're going to say some things, please make sure that you say things that will make people's lives better. Things that will light up a room. Things that will make somebody say, I got an answer. Because you are not ordinary. You were created a full package to come here on earth to make a difference in many people's lives. So if for the past years your words have caused people pain, you can turn around. If over the years your mouth has hurt people, turn around. If over the years your mouth have not been the best or created wrong atmospheres, hey, you always have another chance. Can we turn it around and begin to speak positive things? Begin to charge the atmosphere with great things. When you do that, you become an amazing person. The other thing I want to leave with you this year is that you have to make sure that you network with people. Network is so important. It's my heart. Connections, connections, connections. It doesn't matter how anointed, talented, educated, well-intentioned you are. If you don't have people that you are connected with in this life, you are not going to go very far. In fact, you don't go as far as your dream. You go as far as your team. You must be able to have different people in your life. It could even be people that may disagree with you sometimes, but it's okay because they cause you to look at some blind sides in your life. You cannot always have yes people around. You cannot always have people who talk like you or look like you or think like you. When it happens, then there's the danger that you might turn into an idiot. Because if you don't cross-pollinate, then you could become an idiot. And so I just want to admonish you, collaborate, have connections with people. Whilst I'm at that, this morning I was thinking about a particular situation. Somebody called me and was complaining about a relationship that has gone south. And as I listened, I said to the person, you know what? You have been in a relationship with so-and-so for a long time. It's a pastor matter. A pastor who has been in a relationship and all of a sudden somebody has just turned their backs. And I said, I suspect this one is not a gift of the Spirit, but it's a gift of suspicion that somebody has gotten between you and that person. So as I began to peel the onions, we got to the crust of the matter. And I realized that many times people spend years building relationships. People spend years collaborating with people. One person is introduced into the equation and everything goes down south. I want to admonish you. Learn to keep your friends. Learn to give your friends the benefit of the doubt. Learn to think and say, listen, I've invested in this person for all these years. Why must I allow this one person to come in and destroy everything that we've done? If you do that, you are going to wake up one of these waking up mornings and realize that you got very, very, very good friends, but you never knew or never learned how to steward those friendships. The fact that you're in a relationship with somebody doesn't mean that they may not say something, they may not do something. But my problem is, so what? There's so much that binds you together than that which seeks to tear you apart. So if you're going to succeed this year, that is my heart for you. And finally, it should have been the first, but I want to leave this for last. Never forget your source. I don't care how beautiful a dolphin is. The day the dolphin disconnects from its source, which is water, it is moving day. There is a God in heaven who has kept you to today. It doesn't matter the exercise, the gyms, the vitamins, whatever you take. Somebody controls your heartbeat. Somebody knows what you don't know. Somebody separates the end from the beginning. He's God Almighty. Make sure that every day He is your source. When you take these few keys, expand them in your life and do them, I can assure you that you have not just a good life, but an amazing life. I wish you all the best for 2026. Frank Ofosu-Appiah is still the name, the ambassador of hope.